with Canada. So I think the generation today is not the same as the generation of our mom, or I don't know, the generation before us. I think there's just so much greed and corruption, and I would say experimentation going on in the people of authority among the citizen, that you cannot just get ahead in life. The purpose of someone from a third world country coming to a first world country is they want to get ahead in life. But I feel like we're more like an experimental tool. They keep changing the rules, they keep changing the system, and I feel like we're a victim of this experimentation on how to actually progress an economy, or maybe it's just generally the poor, the rich oppressing the poor. And I'm just so blessed I have an option to go back to the Philippines. But I feel like you know uh, if you studied, let's say you get all the necessary degrees, to get ahead in life, that's good. But for most people, they have to do it here, so their credential will be accredited. And then at the same time, majority of them would have to get a student loan or student debt. So they already have big debts by the moment they graduate, and the purpose that they're going to work is not exactly to put themselves in a position to get ahead in life, but most likely the first part of it, or majority of the part of it, is to pay off that debt. Eventually, once you graduate, the first goal, or the main goal, will be to be financially free. And I heard horror stories where the interest rate is so big, and we know that not all actually get a good job. I think there will be a selected jobs, probably. I would say if you're in medicine field, there's more chance that your study is worth it. Maybe you can thus get that money you spend on tuition back. But accounting, finance, those kind of college degree, I don't know. I came from a finance background. I cannot say the same. You have to go extreme here, the extremely expensive one, but it seems like it will give you success, which I think will be medicine field, or just don't do it at all. The book of Ecclesiastes, King Solomon mentioned that some people studied, but still their future is not secured. Everything is in God's hand. The only thing you can do is really pray for God to prosper whatever it is that is you're able to do or to plan in your life, because God is the only one who can give you favor. There's just an element of that you need to look into applying, and how you're gonna run your life, and how you're gonna see yourself succeed based on your life circumstances today. And I'm absolutely turning to God for my future. And I still believe in hard work. But the saying, if a Filipina or a Filipino who is known to be resilient, hard worker, has started quitting or giving up, there must be something wrong with that system. A lot of people will say Filipinos or Asians are quite dumb, they're uneducated and all of these things. But there are some Filipinos who also can discern when this is a battle worth fighting for, this is a battle my petite body, can succeed with, so no, that's the plan for myself. God might have some other plans. I know for sure God did not bring me here to waste it, but on my own, I'm like, God, I'm not fighting battles to keep all of this on my own. I'm just like, I'm 35, I'm 35. I've seen, unfortunately, a lot of videos of young girls here in America, working girls, who are just going through some trauma. And I feel like if I continue in the path of working to survive, I might see that in myself. Those like involuntary, I would say, muscle movement, body movement that are basically a result of trauma. I did have that, like overworking, or even just waking up the other day thinking that I have to do that again. That alone already caused anxiety and trauma. So I think when your body is tired, if you just want to rest, just rest. God has suggested many times to know when to stop. At least I'm stopping now that I have a Canadian passport. So I'm still gonna hold on to my Canadian passport. At least one thing I would recommend is if you did ended up working, make sure that at least you get something that you can hold on that kind of represent a future option. So I'm gonna keep my Canadian passport. It's always a good option. We know it's powerful, but living in Canada in itself is a big no-no to me. So on my own, if God has other plans, that's absolutely, I'm open for that. But on my own, no. And just just the way the economy look like right now is Filipinos value money. People from third world country value money. So what we work hard for, we want to ensure that we're reaping the harvest of that. So the big tax is a no-no. The higher your salary, the bigger the tax. For me, that's a no-no. And also, it's not like my retirement is guaranteed to be really prosperous because I started late, working here in Canada, and I'm not even a big income earner, And also, what else? Like apparently the healthcare system, I don't know about. I think because I'm Asian, maybe I will not be a victim of this. But I heard they're harvesting organs from, from people as young as us. I don't know if I wanna go through that. It's just so much stress, and then just the rolling out of MAID, the medically assisted dying. I heard horror stories where a woman simply had a menopause and they're already suggesting medically assisted dying to her. And what that speaks to me is no matter how hard I work, no matter how hard I contribute to my retirement and pension plan, all this hard work will go to waste, especially if came to that point where I have to be hospitalized and the first thing they want to tell me is, would you like to take your life? I mean, no, let me enjoy what I work hard for. Let me get my retirement fee. Let me use that, let me get my pension power. I don't think it will get to the point. Now of course, just like everyone else, if we don't know the future, I believe that whatever your plan is, God will prosper. At the moment, this is the plan that God put in my heart after a million thoughts, like my life here is good, but do I really want it? No, the saying that a living dog, it was in Ecclesiastes, a living dog is better than a dead lion. I don't want to be all powerful like a lion and all these things when I feel like I'm dead. And this system in Canada of survival is making me feel like, and how we talk about how hard it is to socialize. I don't suggest you coming to North America without a family. I do have an active church life, but I would say eventually people will just have their own way. If I have my own family, you will not see me in any other circle. Likewise, those who have their own family or partners, they all eventually, the point of all this, everyone have their own home, settling there, then started forming boundaries. It's just hard to penetrate that. It's best for you to have your own family and your own community, which I also don't have. So those are like the things that I'm really considering. All of these elements are not just about money. It affects a person's mental, emotional health, physical and marital needs and all these things. And of course, faith preservation. I believe that the more you put yourself in an environment where your faith gets tested, then most likely you cannot preserve your faith. And I feel like that's how it looks like right now. So I do pray for God to give me the environment where I can protect and freely practice my faith, because just even though I go back to the Philippines, I don't see that happening. All I can do is really pray, but I don't think that it can happen here, especially if I go back to work and that work is a secular environment and a lot of men, and I'm not married, and I don't know if I want to put myself on further exposure. And I'm just at 35, I'm tired. I am tired being exposed to a lot of men who isn't my husband, who's probably could show interest in me, but I'm not interested in them. And I just want to settle down, basically. If I'm not settling down, life in the Philippines is a bit more peaceful. Because let's admit it, a lot of men here in North America are a bit predatory, and maybe some of them are not predatory. Maybe some of them are just like me, genuinely looking for a spouse. But for some reason, up to this point, it's just doesn't work out. I don't like them, and they're not Christians, and they're not my type. and I don't want to settle for someone I don't like.